Hello everyone, welcome back to Automation and BeamNGdrive. My name is Tim, and today I'm going to be building something really special, something called the Naren Land Bus, which was this old bus that was made in the early 20th century, and it was designed to transport people from Damascus, Syria to Baghdad, Iraq. And this bus, unfortunately, no longer exists, so I decided, why not make it an automation? I think it would be really cool. And first off, we're going to start off by making this thing as heavy duty as possible. We need this thing to be able to survive the harsh Arabian desert. Absolutely everything is going to be steel. It's going to be super high quality on the inside and outside. We need this thing also to be reliable because getting stranded in the desert today is pretty dangerous. But back in the 30s, that was basically a death sentence, no matter where you were. And also, believe it or not, there is still a part of Saudi Arabia called the Empty Quarter, in which no one lives there. And keep in mind, this isn't some really tiny part of the country. No, this is a massive part of the country that takes up about, I want to say like 20% of the whole country. No one lives there because of just how inhospitable it is. This thing, we're designing it to be able to survive said environments, and we're giving this thing the best off-road tires we can. If you saw earlier, I set the top speed to only about 36 miles per hour. That's because we don't want this thing to go too fast, because, well, we want the journey to be nice and slow, but also comfortable at the same time. We don't want this thing to be too wild and too fast, because after all, it is an absolutely gigantic bus. It's not a race car, and if it were, well, then it would go a whole lot faster. And also, this thing right here, in its current configuration, probably weighs like 9,000 pounds. So, yeah, it's not going to be fast regardless of what engine we put into it. Oh, who am I kidding? This thing would be fast if we put a big enough engine into it. And yeah, we're just making the tires very big and chunky, perfect for that desert crawling. Now we're going to put carbon ceramic on everything, big brakes, and we're going to make sure everything's nice and high quality. Off-road skid tray, obviously. Aerodynamics doesn't really matter, but we need really good cooling since we're going to be driving through the desert. Maximum seating, handmade interior, luxury HUD. Then we need a reliable steering system. Something like, oh, maybe electric. We need simple ABS. That's all we need for traction. We're going in the sand. We're not going around the Nürburgring. Let's install some comfort features into this thing. This thing is designed for rich people. It's designed to basically transport wealthy elites across the desert by land. Because keep in mind, this thing is based off of a vehicle that no longer exists that was made back in the 1930s. And also, I really wish it does exist. I really hope it does, because I could not find any information telling me if it does or does not exist. To my knowledge, I don't think there's a single one in the world on display. This engine right here has been featured in so many cars that I have genuinely lost count. Seriously, the engine makes 600 horsepower, about 780 pound-feet of torque, and is also my most reliable engine. That's why we're using it. It's relatively efficient, and it's also pretty cool in its stylish green. Reminds me of the Saudi Arabian flag. And before we customize it, I want to just give you an idea of what we've made. We've made a 13,300 pound desert bus made for rich people that also only has a top speed of 36 miles per hour, because why not? And now we're on the decorating. We're obviously going to give it quad exhaust in the rear. Nice. We're going to give it some footsteps because why not? We're going to make the rear door sliding doors for absolutely no reason. We got to make sure to put plenty of windshield wipers. Sandstorms are not very good. I think that's kind of obvious, but yeah, we're going to give a big grille for cooling, headlights that are old but reliable. And we're also going to make them super bright so that they can be seen through sandstorms, because this thing is designed to be just about unstoppable. And we're going to design the interior to fit not exactly as many people as the real Naren Land Bus did, because that one could fit up to 40 people. This one right here is probably going to fit like 20 at most, and that's at most. Oh, and if you see that diamond plate texture, it took nearly 3 years and almost 450 hours in Automation, the Car Company Tycoon game, to figure out how to import custom images as textures. I'm actually genuinely embarrassed that it took me this long to figure it out. I had to go to the Automation subreddit for that, and in all honesty, I was kind of embarrassed that I even had to ask it, because I've seen a bunch of YouTubers use custom Automation textures, particularly Grog TV, and it made me jealous. Why can't I do that? Enough with my imported texture tangent. We're going to be talking about the interior. We're going to have 12 bright orange seats in here, because why not? We're also going to have a bathroom as well, and we're even going to have a specific area for the drivers, but it's going to be quite special. You see, there's only going to be one seat in the driver cab, just one regular seat, but on the other side, there's going to be a bed in there, because this vehicle is designed to be piloted by up to 3 people. Well, that's the original bus. This thing, we can't fit 3 people up in the front cockpit without people getting angry and wanting more space. It would be pretty cramped if we put 3 people up there. It's not like a McLaren F1. No, it's probably less spacious, all things considered. But we can fit 2 people up there at the very least. And also, I'm sorry, the passengers and the drivers are going to have to share a bathroom. Oh, and if you see that absolutely insane texture that I had, yeah, that's just one of them, and I don't know why. And here it is in all of its glory, the Naren Land Bus 2.0. It's a lot smaller, it's actually lighter than the regular one, it's slower. We got our Winter Sun debut album Door with Maxwell the Cat, and now, let's go to BeamNGdrive! 3, 2, 1, and yeah, the footage you're seeing right now is really laggy, but keep in mind, when I was recording this in real life, it wasn't actually this laggy. There was like a couple frames per second lower than the regular gameplay, but it was nowhere near as bad as what you're seeing right now. And we're finally back to normal, and yeah, this is as fast as we go. On the inside, it kind of sounds like an EV, I'm not even gonna lie when I say that, because it sounds like an electric motor just struggling, and yeah, that's as fast as we can go, and I don't care. This thing is not designed for racetrack performance. This thing is designed to be strong and slow. It's like comparing a buffalo to a horse. A buffalo is going to be vastly stronger, but it's like comparing an elephant to a horse. An elephant is much stronger, but is also slower than a horse. That's my point, basically. This thing is supposed to be not as fast, but it's also supposed to be strong and durable and reliable. It's also supposed to go off-road, and yeah, as you can see, underneath of that speedometer, we were watching something. I'll tell you about that later. It's a very special TV show we were watching. It's called the Me and the Boys Watching the Spoons Sparking in the Microwave TV show. Yeah, that was a random image I had saved on my computer that I found probably late at night one day, and I thought it was funny because the image is just weird. It's these 3 little worm guys, and they're just looking at you with the most miserable looking expression while the most outlandish caption above and below them is there. It's kind of funny in my opinion. And we are almost done with this. We are about 1 minute and 50 seconds into this. Actually, we're about 2 minutes into this, and we're about to get ready to go full send. Let's go! Let's go! And yeah, this is full send. We've been going full send the entire time. Now, let's talk to Maxwell. Say, Maxwell, how do you like the car? Okay, let's see how we did. Oh, my worst ever lap. Nice. Now let's go to the drag strip. Anyway, let's go! Let's go, let's go, let's go! And it took over a second for this vehicle to cross the line for all 4 wheels. That is just sad. And also, the reason why I'm doing the drag race like this is because BeamNGdrive had a new update, and I can't do a normal drag race, and also, I don't know how, and I tried looking for a tutorial, and I could not find one. So yeah, this is what we have to deal with for now, and 25.56 seconds. That is, surprisingly not my slowest car down this drag strip. My slowest car ever was that one vehicle that I made to have the worst power-to-weight ratio possible. It was powered by, I want to say, a 63 horsepower V8, and the vehicle itself weighed like 24,000 pounds, which I'm not sure, but I think roughly equates to about, like, I want to say like 5.9 horsepower per ton, or something like that. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, I'm not sure. But the only thing I know about that vehicle is that it got a worse power-to-weight ratio than the Panzer VIII Maus, which is one of the heaviest tanks ever made, and I'm happy that it got a worse power-to-weight ratio than that. That is all I'm happy about, and this thing right here, this thing has about, I want to say about 9 times as much power, which is a whole lot better. And also, this thing handles surprisingly well on hills like this. Yeah, it doesn't want to go up all the time because it can't go fast enough to stay up there, which is probably a problem, in all honesty, because, yeah, if we ever go on sand dunes, we're not going to be able to climb up them. But hey, on the bright side, this thing does not want to flip over at all. This thing is just about the most indestructible thing I've probably made when it comes to just reliability drivetrain wise, because it doesn't go super fast, it's not super powerful, and more importantly, it's just simple. It's not designed to go crazy. And now I'm gonna talk with Maxwell. Now, hey Maxwell, how are you doing? How do you like sitting in the VIP section of our land bus? Do you like it? I think you'll like it. And also, how do you like looking at the door? It's the debut album cover that Wintersun made back in 2004. Pretty neat, huh? Pretty cool. Okay, and now we're not even going very far. I cannot believe that. And you know what, now I realize that we should definitely go up that pyramid, because that right there would be really cool, going up a pyramid. And why not? We could test this thing's off-road capabilities, particularly its hill climbing capabilities. I wanted to give this thing more power because I thought that wouldn't be enough, and oh my. Yes, 600 was definitely good enough, because we're gaining speed, and we're on, like, I want to say a 25-degree incline. Yeah, it looks more like a 20 according to that gauge on the side, and oh my, we're even steering on this thing and still gaining speed, and oh, of course, I did not go up fast enough. My mistake. Okay, I just skipped forward a bunch because there was about 10 minutes of me trying to get up that hill, and well, now we're here, just on the top of the pyramid, this beautiful, beautiful concrete dystopian brutalist pyramid. Basically, this is what ancient Egypt would look like if they were a bunch of brutalist architects. Now, the view up here is absolutely phenomenal. I just cannot stress that enough. It's a truly beautiful and just wonderful place to be. In fact, I've barely ever spent any time in this map, and I don't think I've ever actually explored this map, like, at all. I think this is about as much exploration as I've done there. I have probably done some others, but anyway, let's drive off the pyramid. And let's see, we're just gonna go down 50. Okay, can we reach 60? I think for a split second, we reached 60 miles per hour, which is actually surprisingly impressive because the way that this vehicle works when it goes over 36 miles per hour, it over-revs the engine. The engine is set to a red line of 7,000, and at 60 miles per hour, it would probably be roughly 12,000 RPM. Which is utterly insane for a 9-liter V12. And also, how do you like the drifting we're doing in our 13,000-pound desert limousine? Do you like it? I think it's pretty cool. And also, I want us to just go faster. It was a big mistake giving this thing a 36-mile-per-hour top speed. I really, in all honesty, should have just not given it a speed limit, because that is just sad. Watching this thing just struggle along, knowing that the engine is pushing as hard as it can right now. Within the engine bay, the pistons and the crankshaft are doing effectively an Ironman triathlon, while the car itself is just doing a casual jog. It's utterly ridiculous just how hard the engine has to work just to go this slow. It's really sad. I absolutely should have increased the top speed because, now I think about it, this is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, and I kind of hate it. This is going to drive me crazy later because we have to drive this thing across the desert. I cannot believe it, and I don't want to. Anyway, I think we should go to the next place, and now let's drive into this thing, and let's see! Cool transition! Now we're in the desert right here with the new Super Sport variant. It has no limited top speed, and it also has that giant wing and a bunch of no textures, just how I like it. And yeah, that's what the cockpit looks like. This is what Maxwell has to experience. You have to experience the no textures. Yeah, how do you like it? And, oh, we're in rear-wheel drive. That's not good. Now we're in all-wheel drive, and we're already going faster than the old version, because this thing is just better. And we can do some little drifting in the desert. How wonderful. Just how wonderful is this? It's a truly incredible sight, seeing a bus with a giant race car wing on the back, and it's just beautiful. So, my goal for this, we are going to go find a corner of the map, particularly a place where two sides of the map, basically two edges of the map, just come together. We're going to try and find one of those places, because that's pretty important, and we're going 100 miles per hour. I never expected to see something like this go that fast, and that is a lot of suspension travel. Just wow. This vehicle has to go through a lot in order to get up this hill. And yeah, we are losing speed, but oh my. That was a big jump we just did. Pretty crazy. Say, Maxwell, how do you like this thing? Knowing that we're going oh yeah, that was pretty intense. Anyway, Maxwell, did you know we're going about 90 miles per hour right now? I know that you might not like it, but I do, because we're actually getting to the place we need to go pretty quickly. In fact, right now, we're going almost 110 miles per hour. In fact, we are right now. It's pretty wonderful, if I say so myself. And also, Maxwell, how do you like the view of just sand and sand and sand for nothing but miles? And we get to watch me and the boys watching the spoon sparking in the microwave TV show underneath of the speedometer. Yeah, that's what that image is. We get to watch that little TV show while going almost 130 miles per hour. And yeah, oh my. Yeah, I just like the fact that we're just casually drifting through the desert. Keep in mind, this was originally supposed to be a luxury desert bus. That's what this thing was supposed to be, and according to automation, this thing can go approximately 155 miles per hour, which I kinda doubt, because first off, I don't think we can reach that in this desert. We could probably reach it if on the grid map, maybe, but I'm not entirely sure. That's what automation says this thing can do, which, if it can, that's actually seriously impressive, and I'm not even gonna lie about that. It's a truly incredible vehicle, and we're going up yet another hill, and I gotta check to make sure we don't drive over the edge, because if we do, that would be absolutely embarrassing, and it would be pathetic. And let's see, we're just gonna go over a hill like this, and okay, what does it look like from in here? Oh, not that impressive. I want to see what it looks like when this vehicle does a massive jump. I want to see what it looks like from the inside, because from the outside it looks crazy, but how does it look from the inside? Because is it too rough to drive this vehicle this fast? Probably. We're going 104 miles per hour, 105, 106, 7, 8, 9, 110. This thing is just insane, because keep in mind, this thing is a 13,000-pound vehicle with no semblance of aerodynamics other than that big wing at the back, which is just for decoration, all things considered. And we're also just driving kind of crazily right now, just swaying throughout the desert. It's truly incredible sight to see. Like, imagine you're just walking through the desert and you see this thing zip past you at 135 miles per hour. Imagine that. Oh, and we're going 128 miles per hour, which is coincidentally the same top speed as the Uno Muso that I made. I don't even know how long ago I made that, but for a while it was my most popular automation video. That video has since been surpassed by the Cybentark, and oh, all that yapping, that's got us to the edge real quick. Very, very quickly. And, well, basically we're just gonna follow this until we reach a corner. Hopefully we don't drive off, and hopefully we get to actually see the corner, because if we drive off without getting to witness the corner, that would be kind of sad. And to be honest, this thing would make a good DeLorean, because we literally just passed 88 miles per hour not too long ago. And also, this thing could go into the future, according to that movie's logic, which, from what I've heard, I think in order to go to the future, you need to go a fair percentage of the speed of light, which is about 670 million miles per hour, so yeah, there's absolutely no chance on Earth that this thing is going into the future. This thing's probably more likely to travel backwards in time, because I cannot believe it. It's just utterly insane, the fact that we're even doing this. Because whenever I drive off-road in this game, I always try to drive slowly, because the vehicles can easily brake. Meanwhile, I used to play Forza a lot, and okay, we just found the corner, and yeah, we just drove off, and oh no, hopefully we do not have too hard of a crash, and oh, I stand corrected. The crash was absolutely catastrophic. And how's Maxwell doing? Oh, he is not doing good. He is, melding with the tire, which, now that I see it compared to Maxwell, is surprisingly huge, and this is just kind of uncomfortable, so yeah, hopefully Maxwell's okay. And now, we're in the jump arena, where we're gonna end the video, and this version is the old version. The reason I chose it is because I want to see just how high the rev counter for the engine goes, because I want to see it, because back in the grid map pyramid, we did over-revving, and oh my, is that like 14, 13, oh my, 15,000, 16,000, 17, we reached 17,000 RPM with the engine before it broke. No way! No way we just did that, and oh my, I cannot believe that the engine is capable of surviving 17,000 RPM, and oh my, we're just rolling and rolling. Anyway, that's all, bye!